What's going on, guys? It's the Bitter One back with another beer review. You can hear background noise because I've got the little man and my dog out here in the backyard. Just enjoying this cool fall Alabama Saturday, and I'm sure John and Nelly can tell you, and Ronald Terrio and John H. Pierre and any of the other southern beer reviewers, that fall and the Saturday means football, and with football comes beer, obviously. And so I thought this would be the perfect beer for a fall Saturday and a beer review. Sierra Nevada Southern Gothic. Put it on the other side so it's more legible. Southern Gothic. Now, I originally just picked this up based on marketing. I'm a sucker for good marketing. You could make a crappy beer and put it in a great can, and I would pick it up. But Southern Gothic is a Pilsner, and I just thought it was perfect to review a Pilsner on a football Saturday. And then with it being Southern, it just makes sense, you know, for me to review this. I've not drank a lot of Sierra Nevada. I do know it's a staple of Sierra Nevada to have more hoppiness in their beers than usual. And I'm pretty sure this is going to have more hops because the IBUs are 40. Now, I don't have to have a bittering unit, but it's nice to have one to supply that information to you guys. It's a 5.2 by alcohol, 5.2%, excuse me. It's 11.9% original gravity. I don't know a whole lot about gravity. As I plan to get into home brewing, hopefully I'll learn more about gravity. I can be able to talk about it and clarify things with you guys. And then the finishing gravity was 2.3. Again, it's just steeped in tradition. Pretty much sums up their Southern Gothic. It's an unfiltered Pils, by the way, so it's going to be a little hazy, cloudy, muddy, whatever you want to say. They use Pilsner malt, acidulated malt, Vienna malt. They use Magnum hops, Saffron hops, and Sterling hops. So 3 variety of malt, although it does say on the page it contains wheat, so they also put wheat in here. There's 3 different types of hops, and then they use lager yeast. You almost can't be a Pilsner if you don't use lager yeast. I mean, Pilsners have a very crisp, clean, and refreshing finish usually, and lager yeast helps to give that that finish. So let's get into it. Sierra Nevada Unfiltered Pils. This is gonna be like my second ever Sierra Nevada beer, believe it or not, for somebody who's been drinking beer for this long. There's the can. Appearance wise, it kind of looks like a cream ale. It's cloudy, and I don't mean like that hazy, muddy. It's definitely got like, there's something, it looks like there's something else I put in this beer floating around in it. There's just this cloud of yellow and gold going on. Minimal carbonation, but there are bubbles dancing around in this thing. When I put it up to the sun, it doesn't really change color. I mean, it just goes from a deep gold up top to, I mean, it gets pretty pale at the bottom, but I mean, it doesn't really change color. It's pretty consistent throughout. I'm thinking maybe this cloudiness might have to do with this beer has possibly sat on the shelf for a while. Let's see if there's a date. And I want to go back for a second. I said you couldn't be a Pils if you don't use lager yeast, and that is 100% correct, but I want to iterate that you cannot be a Pilsner if you don't use lager yeast. Why? Because Pilsners are lagers. So brain fart there, just saying too much, being overcomplicated. I have to apologize for that. Decent head retention, not great. It looks soapy. It's like a dish detergent type consistency. Doesn't leave a lot of legs in my opinion. Now I'm outside, so I don't know how the nose is going to smell. It's kind of windy, so it might blow the aroma all over the place. So this is heavy on the floral, heavy floral. Yeah, I would say a little bit of citrus and like a lot of floral. It smells like a bouquet of flowers almost. I love it. Beautiful nose. Yeah, I would say the citrus would be more on the grapefruit side. That floral, I mean, again, a bouquet of flowers. I don't get a lot of malt. I'm kind of surprised on that. But again, there's wind blowing around. There's a lot of stuff going on outside. So maybe that's detracting from what I smell. Let's get into the best part of a beer review. Yeah, heavy floral hops for sure. It even gives like a grassy, earthy note that comes through, but it's not unpleasant for somebody like me that doesn't really prefer the earthy flavors that you get usually in like a German style Pilsner. Yeah, it's really hop forward, and then on the back end I get the malt. And for 40 IBUs, yeah, I'd say it's pretty bitter. What would I rate this? The mouthfeel. There's no carbonation almost. It's a water-like consistency when it comes to the viscosity. It's not very thick either. And then there's no carbonation. And yeah, this thing is pretty hop forward. It almost drinks like a IPA almost. You can confuse it for an IPA. I'm kind of interested to see the brewing process on this because there's not a lot of carbonation in this. It's not clean and refreshing, although they did unfilter it. So, so yeah, that's why it doesn't have that clean, crisp, refreshing finish. But that's pretty unusual for a Pilsner, in my opinion. I'd recommend this to people who love IPAs, New England IPAs specifically. I think you'd love this thing. One more sip and we'll give a final grade. For something so hoppy, I'm gonna have to give this a 4.25 out of a 5. And let me tell you, for somebody who doesn't like a lot of hop forward beers, it's amazing that I even stepped it up into that range. I think my wife's here, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up. Been a fairly short review considering. 4.25 Sierra Nevada Southern Gothic Roll Tide. Enjoy your Saturday. Excellent beer if you love IPAs, especially the New England kind. This is for you. Until next time, guys. Cheers.